the street the first day I got from Syria. Bomb here and shooting everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we come here, the bomb is there. We come from this side. We was through the bomb. We just make the turn. The bomb just explode there and start shooting everybody. We just change the road and then we go.
What year was that? What year
Was 2000? I guess 2000. And the militia on top of my house. He have two, how they call it, the small weapon. I'm not really good on weapons, like the small weapon.
The small one.
The Iraqis one, you know, the old one.
AK-47?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have two of these, and there is one tank and two Hummers outside. He wanna go out to fight with them, and he's on top of our house. I'm telling you, on the roof. And he called one of his leader in the militia. Oh, I can go out to fight. I say, what do you have? And then my stepdad was there telling him, what do you have? Weapons. So I have to do two of these and two, what do they call it?
The rocket launcher?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have two of these too.
Thanks for coming. Can you state your name, please?
My name is Bahaa Kader.
And where are you from?
I'm originally from Iraq.
Iraq?
Yeah, and I was born in Iraq, Baghdad, the capital of Iraq.
Baghdad. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that the war affected you and your family pretty heavily back home?
Yeah, it does. Well, it wasn't that good life before the war, and we was okay. We was living in peace, like we don't have problem. And then after that, we had like our family like destroyed because of all the problems between, like, the militias around, the police, the U.S. Army there, like, yeah, basically it's destroyed. Like, we can be safe after that. Like, was really bad after 2000. 2003 till 4 was okay. Was like we had no government, no police, no military for 1 year till they built everything again. Because as you know, like this, it's gone. We don't have government. Yeah, 2004 started the problems. Then by then, I left Iraq.
Okay, so you left Iraq and you went to Syria.
Yeah, I went first time for a year, and then I came back, and I got married at 2006. So after a couple months in 2006, got the situation for the militia between Sunni and Shia, and I was married to the Shia girl. And then we lived in our city because it's a small town, but it's for Sunnah, and then my wife, she was Shia, and then by the time was really like hard for people let different thinking of religion or Shia or Sunni, so they don't want to be there in the same place or same street. So and then the other day I find a paper with the bullet on it and says like leave or you got killed. So then I say, okay, where I should go? Like, there is nowhere to go. I just got back from Syria and didn't like feel good that much there because I left family and everybody. So I was separate from my family and me. Like, I can't even go see them because they live in Danger City. I live in Danger City. Like, we can't. Like, if we want to see each other, we meet somewhere. And then one day I come back and my wife, she was killed. And she was pregnant. And then after a couple months in 2007, I left at the beginning of 2007. I went back to Syria, started working. And 2008 was like everybody going applying for United Nations. Like some other friends have got like proof to go to USA, to go to Europe, Germany, like all over the places. So and then by 2008 I was getting engaged, and after 10 days when I was engaged I applied, and I was like thinking, I see thousands of people waiting in the line, like a lot of people. I say, how could I do that? Like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go anywhere. It's a lot of people. But I didn't know that it goes with your story. Like, they check the stories, they check the paper, you check the proof you have and everything, and then they go through this process and they called you and they did interview with you from depends which country you are going to be. So then they just called me after I get married like 10 days. So you got approved to go to USA. Do you accept it or not? By that time was people accepting it, people don't, because we was in Syria living in peace and like almost same like as your country because we are too close. The culture.
What city in Syria?
Hmm?
What city in Syria?
Damascus.
Damascus.
Yeah, I was in Damascus. And so I went to the first interview. They asked me like about my story, what happened, why you come to Syria, why you apply. I explained everything for them. They say, okay, just go and wait for other call. And that time I was married and I told them I got married already. And they include my wife with me by that time. And we go in through one case together. Yeah, and then after a couple of months they call you again, you go do interview with the United Nations group, and then you go after the interview you go get other interview with the American people who's like handling your case to get approved to come here or no. Yeah, and then after that we go through IOM. It's other organization helping refugee to come. That's when your case is already approved to go travel, like to move from this country to the other country. Yeah, and then I come here in 2009. My case was really fast, like was first 6 months I got the first interview. It was like really fast. People there years waiting there. They just don't wanna like because they're hoping Iraq get better, but it never happened. Get worse and worse and worse. So and they don't want to stay in the Syria because Syria, it's just like small country. Like they don't have that good economy.
Right.
So they want to get better life, safe. They don't want to back to Iraq. Then people accept it. Like whenever they can go, they can live in peace, and there's a future for them. They do.
Okay. So do you have many friends or family members that also left Syria or Damascus with you?
Well, I had a couple of friends. They are not the same religion. They are Christian. They left from there. I had friends in Canada. I went to visit him already, and I had a friend in Michigan right now in USA, and I have a friend in Australia, Europe. Everybody left,
Right.
yeah.
Do you miss Damascus or Baghdad?
I miss Damascus more than Baghdad.
Okay.
Because the age, like I was almost 18, 19 in Syria, and for that time I was like, because I went 2004 and then back again, and it was different life, like more open, safe, like nobody can say nothing to you, you can do whatever you want.
When you were in Baghdad, did you experience the presence of military that was there in the area? Do you have any experience with them operating in Baghdad?
You mean U.S. military?
Yeah.
Well, it was at the beginning that they was really nice, really helpful with the people, with the kids around and everything. But then after that, it got different. It was big different since they start, the way they act with people, and then after a couple of years, it was way different.
Different how?
Like bad way, like
Bad way.
worse. Like yeah, it was nice, and then they changed by the time, and then gets to one point like tank go over the car because they just right in front of them in the street, like yeah. Or get one bumped into the street on them, they start shooting everywhere. They don't know who's with them, who's against them, Yeah.
So being a refugee from Syria, Iraq to the United States, has it changed your outlook living in America, being a refugee?
Well, they called refugee, I guess, because we left our country because we don't wanted to leave, but the situation there, we left our country, and they called refugee to, I guess, to help people, to get people stand again, don't feel like they lost everything, and in one moment they be with nothing. But for me, when I don't feel like nothing about refugee. You know, I've been in Sweden since the first day I got here till today after 8 years. Same. I don't feel like I'm as a refugee. I feel like start a better life. I work. I have family. I have kids. It's. I mean, the word of refugee is not a specific thing you can call the people just because they left the country. They have to leave. For me, if you ask me, would you leave 2004? If it was like before 2003 the same, I wouldn't leave Iraq. I would be growing up there with family, with my city, with the friends and everything. I don't have none right now.
So you wouldn't want to be, your identity is not a refugee. How do you identify? What would be your chosen identity if you were to carry one?
For me,
Yeah.
I mean, just like I feel myself here with everyone, I don't like, but the way when people ask me how you get here as what, you know, as immigration or as visa or something, I would say refugee. But I consider myself like I'm here now. I'm American citizen. I don't feel like myself. I feel like I'm me and anyone in the street who born here. My kids born here. Like I feel I'm like them. It's not like as a refugee because I left Iraq since a long time ago. So a lot of things change.
So you're an Iraqi, a Syrian, an American. That
All
happens
together.
to be a refugee.
Yeah.
اسكت كافو ولا تحكي عبس ولا تلدق بي للي بقدك روح امشي انا الطاح بيدي وين شلون يا